Let's speak Korean.
제 113회 끝나려면 멀었어?
안녕하세요. Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Speak Korean. I'm your host Lisa Kelly and today is our 113th episode and today's focus expression is 끝나려면 멀었어, which means are you far from being finished? We'll get into that in a little bit. Steve?
Yo, yeah.
You need a few more minutes?
Yeah, just 1 minute,
Okay,
just
please.
1 minute.
All right.
잠시만요.
He's reviewing his notes, so we'll go and say hello to our students first. Hi guys!
Hi Lisa, 안녕하세요. 네오미입니다. I'm ready for this new lesson. And how
Okay.
about you?
Hello everybody. 저는 방글라데시에서
한국에 온
한국에 온
한국으로 온.
Good.
프로빌입니다.
Good. Okay. We'll practice that in a little bit. Bangladesh에서 온 프로비입니다. Or 한국으로 온. Right. Okay, good. You done now?
Yes, I'm all
Okay,
set
good,
now.
good,
Yes.
good, good, good.
저는 미국에서 온 스티븐입니다. 안녕하세요. I'm Stephen Revere. Thanks for being with us. And I'll be coaching you today. We're going to talk about completing stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, speaking of which, you completed
다
your
됐어.
notes.
Yes, I'm
All
all
right.
ready now.
And since we've completed our greetings, let's go on to Let's Do It.
Let's do it.
끝나려면 멀었어?
다 됐어. 조금만 기다려. 야, 다 됐다.
Okay, the first expression was our focus expression. It's 끝나려면 멀었어? Okay, are you far from done yet? Okay, 멀다 means far away, and 끝나다 means to be finished. Steve.
Which makes this a very strange sentence to people who are native English speakers. I mean, you're sitting here saying, if you plan on finishing, are you far? Kind of makes sense. You could say, are you far from finishing in English as well, right? It also means in Korean. You can use it mostly for distance, but in this instance, it's being used for time. 멀었어. Now, when you're saying that, make sure that you always use it in the past tense. Sometimes you'll say, oh, are you almost finished? And somebody will say, oh, 아직 멀었어. You would think 아직 멀어, it's still far away, but no. Always use the past tense for that one. 아직 멀었어.
Are you far from finished would be the literal translation, but actually what it really means is are you almost done? The opposite of what they're actually saying. So when someone asks you, are you far from finished? Or 끝나려면 멀었어, it doesn't mean like, do you have a long time to go? It means, are you almost done? Okay, and you can say this to someone who is coming to you from far away. They may be in a bus, and you can call them on their cell and say, 멀었어? Now we're not talking about time, we're talking about distance. Are you getting closer? Are you almost here is what you're asking.
And the other difficult thing is, 하려면 is if you plan on doing something, right? So if you plan on finishing, are you far away? Of course I plan on finishing. That's why I'm doing it, right? But it's a normal expression in Korean. We could make some other expressions with 하려면, okay? You could say, 밥 먹으려면 요리해야 돼요, right? If you plan on eating, you have to cook. In this one, it's a little bit more of a colloquial expression, 끝나려면, and pay attention to that pronunciation. You don't pronounce that T there, do you? It turns into an N. It's not 끝나려면, it's 끝나려면, okay? If you plan on finishing.
Okay, and then you can say something is almost finished by using 끝나다, okay? For example, you can say, I finished early work or school. 일찍 끝났어요. I finished early, 일찍.
Notice the past tense there. It's all finished. You're using the past tense. 끝났어요, right?
Okay? Or you may be doing your homework, okay? 숙제 다 끝났어요. Or you can say 끝냈어요 in this situation as well. Okay, can you try this?
방송 끝나려면 아직도
멀었어요.
아직도
Yes,
멀었어요.
that's right. Yes. And 한국말, 저는 한국말 열심히 공부하고 있는데 I'm studying very hard. 근데 아직도 한국 사람하고 못지않게 하는 거, 한국 사람만큼 잘하는 거 아직 멀었어요, right? Speaking Korean as well as a Korean, the same as a Korean, is still far off for me. I'm trying. I'm getting closer and closer all the time. But how about you? Can you try one for us, Pura?
결혼하려면 아직 멀었어요.
Okay. you're far from
Getting
the
married.
time period where you're going to get married soon, okay? All right, and then our response was 다 됐어, okay? It's all done, okay? So they may be working and they're saying I've completed it, 다 됐어. 조금만 기다려. Okay, why would we say I'm finished and then wait a little longer? 조금만 기다려 means wait a minute, hang on a second. Okay, when you say it like this, Koreans tend to say 다 끝났어, I'm done, but you may have a little left to go. So we can say this in English too. Yeah, I'm done. Just a second. And then you can finish and say 다 끝났어.
A couple of expressions we've got today you just have to take for face value because when you take them word for word into English, it doesn't make sense. 다 means all. 됐어 normally means to become something, right? But then when you turn it into the past tense, it has become. 다 됐어 means it's all became, it's all finished. I'm finished, right? And then they follow that up with 조금만 기다려.
Right.
Wait just a little bit. That's pretty easy to translate. 조금만 is just a little bit. 기다려, wait.
And then you can specify like 5분만 기다려 or 뭐 하루만 기다려 or 1시간만 기다려. Let's try this dialogue back and forth. Okay, 아직 멀었어? You're asking and then you can respond by saying 다 끝났어? 5분만 기다려. And then you can try it now here.
아직 멀었어?
10분만 기다려.
다 끝났어.
다 끝났어.
And then when you're using 되다, pay attention. You only use this with things that you have to do. You don't say a person. You don't say 나는 다 됐어. You can't say I'm all done. Sometimes Americans we want to say I'm done. 나는 다 됐어. That does not work. 일이 다 됐어. Okay, some work that you're doing is all finished.
Right. You can specify, for example, 포장이 다 됐어. 아니면 요리가 다 됐어. You know, you can say something will be ready for you.
And instead of 다, you could also throw in 완전히, which means completely, or 거의.
거의.
And you can use that with the 다 or without it. So you could say 거의 다 됐어 or 거의 됐어. It's almost done.
And then how would we express, oh, not yet, okay? I think you have this in your vocabulary by now. How do you say, I'm not ready yet? 아직. Okay, 아직.
아직 다 못했어.
Right, or 아직 안 됐어. Or you can, like you said, just 아직 is fine too. Okay, let's go on to wrap it up.
Wrap it up
With Lisa.
and Steven.
끝나려면 멀었어?
다 됐어. 조금만 기다려.
끝나려면 얼마나 더 기다려야 돼?
이제 다 됐어. 하나, 둘, 셋, 다 됐다.
Okay, we saw in the flash animation. Okay, I got ready. You know, this reminds me of how guys are always waiting for girls. They're all going, 끝났어? 끝났어? 다 됐어? They keep asking you, 됐어? 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 And then and the girls always say, 다 됐어? And they keep fixing their makeup for half an hour.
Yes, I have stopped even trying to show up on time for dates. Another thing that was in that skit there was they had 하나, 둘, 셋. That's how you count something. Those of you who have taken
You always do that.
Taekwondo, when you do Taekwondo, then 하나, 둘, 셋, right? That's how they count the numbers, the kicks and stuff. And notice when I count, I've been in Korea so long, I count the same way Koreans do. I go 1, 2, 3. I start with my thumb and go to my index finger. That's a little bit different than the way we count back in America. In America, we start out with
Start
this
with the
finger,
pointer
1, 2,
finger.
3. Yeah, start out with the
Right.
and then some people I've seen do this, but in Korea it's always like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
And another thing is, in the English language, we have, when, for example, a race or something, or when you're starting something, you say, on your marks, get set, go, or something like that. In Korea, there is no way to express that except like this. Okay, we say 준비, and then that means ready.
Ready.
And then we say 하나, 둘, 셋. And you count 1, 2, 3, and that's usually the marker saying go.
Great way to teach a word, huh? 준비, get ready.
And then 하나,
시작.
둘, 셋, right?
Or 하나, 둘, 셋. Or start, 시작.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, and please come back next time for another eventful day here at Let's Speak Korean. Bye-bye.
And in the meantime, come visit